Alright, everyone, we are back with the next episode of the Raiders Rambles. I am Joel, your chief host of the show, and joining me as always is none other than my co host, Avira.
Hello, guys. I hope you're having a fantastic day.
hmm
I think that's all I got right now. I just wanted to say hello.
Well, it's not too bad. It's not looking too bad out here. We've got the nice cool change flowing in, relief from the heat.
Oh,
Always
groovy.
good. And
Yeah, here for me it's November. It's like the middle of November, and the other day was like 65 degrees, and then 2 days later it says it's going to be like in the 20s. So kind of in that like weird transition zone. But that's kind of how my weather's
yeah,
been.
yeah, right up until it just starts getting cooler and winter's coming.
Yeah.
Type of thing. Yeah. Next up on the show, we have, as always, our interim host, Noble.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. And Todd, you are holding dynamite.
Is something about to really blow up here?
Possibly.
Is that right? And joining us on the show is our other host, Icy Papa.
Well, hello everybody. Thanks for having me on the show, and I hope everybody throughout the world is having a fine, fantastic day, whether it be morning, afternoon, evening, or midnight. Good day to you all.
I actually thought it was an American way to say good day to y'all, so you can give it that touch. Tell everyone you're in
Yeah,
America.
I say that all the time. I say good day to you all.
Oh, hey, at least you understand language rather than friggin' doing it the American way.
Yeah.
Still, ah, still, good to have you on board. All right, so let's get started with what have we got to share with you for this ride this week. Okay, first and foremost, Grand Theft Auto 6, big thing on the news. Who's hype? Who's just keeping an eye open? Who's hyped for it? Who's waiting and seeing?
Well, I'm
I'm
hyped
gonna
up
give
for
it a
Grand Theft
pass.
Auto 6.
Right. Like, I mean, we all know Grand Theft Auto, biggest game. Grand Theft Auto is like super duper popular. They're milking the ever loving bejesus out of it still.
Yeah, I'm honestly like wondering how more bonkers it can actually get. Like, just how many more mods are possible in this next game?
Yeah,
Because like they have to step it up, right? Like if they're gonna be,
they're talking about
bringing
putting
out
some of the
like this new
non-fictional
version,
cars
right?
in.
Like they
Right.
got to do some like some different stuff.
Yes.
So,
Completely new story, a completely new everything,
Yeah,
more or
yeah, of
less.
course.
And
So, from what I'm understanding about one of the from GTA 6, from a lot of rumors, they're talking about putting some of the non-fictional cars in the game. However, some of them will remain the fictional ones.
right, they don't want to do licensing and all that, but still,
Yeah,
they
they
made
get,
these great knockoffs.
well,
Through
not
like,
really. They've been given permission from like certain companies to put their cars into the game to promote them.
no way.
I can't wait. I'm getting the PS5 or an Xbox Series X, and I'm getting on that shit.
Right. Well, we'll see how we go, but right now, the one thing that's gotten you to be a bit leery is what they're trying to do with it at the moment.
Ooh.
Currently, publisher says Grand Theft Auto 6 should be priced per hour.
What?
Whoa! Wait, dude. Hold on.
oh,
Price per
oh,
hour?
this is gonna be good.
This
This
is
is
gonna
gonna be
suck.
very good.
What do they mean price an hour? What, like 10 cents per minute. Like you have to pay for the game. Like what the hell are they talking about here?
Oh God.
Like, is it like when you actually fire up Grand Theft Auto, and irrespective of whether you're running the game, leaving it AFKing or whatever?
Oh wait, no. You know what? I have a better idea. See, they're trying to make it more immersive because when you drive, your gasoline goes down and you have to pay for gas. So
Oh, that's
so
cool.
they're equating how much you drive with the amount of gasoline you would actually burn,
Now,
and therefore
in game mechanics, yes,
that's how it works.
100%. That would be like a real immersion thing as a game mechanic standpoint.
And that would suck.
Yeah, pay for fuel and then be like, oh, it's too realistic. Oh, come on. Since Grand Theft Auto 4, it's taking a realistic shift more than ever.
It's funny you should mention that because Mafia 2 had that mechanic where you had to constantly fill up your car for $5.
Yeah, Mafia 1 did that. Mafia 2 did
The Ma-
that.
Yeah, Mafia 3 didn't do it though. That's sad. I like that game.
I like the Mafia redo, but anyway, the
Oh,
point
it's
is,
really
right?
nice.
Yeah, to get back to what they're trying to do. To get back as to what they're trying to do. How do you think this is going to work? Like, how are they going to charge you to play a game on an hourly basis?
Well, do you have to like log in every time you just want to play this? Is it like an online, like you have a profile and you can't just play alone? Like, how exactly do they differentiate that?
That's a good question.
Yeah, because like if you just wanted to play by yourself, then like why would that matter?
Offline, they can't exactly track your fingers, stat tracking, unless they you're connected to whatever, like Steam or whatever.
I mean, I guess if you wanted to play online with different people.
I mean, I don't think it'd make a difference. Like, if you're playing online already, you'd have to be paying for like PlayStation Plus or that sort of stuff. That's already an added cost. But on an hourly basis, like no matter what you do, single player, multiplayer, they'll probably charge you for whatever you get out of the game. And here's the thing: right now, games like these, they cost what? They're trying to charge $60 or $70 for a brand new copy.
Yep, at least.
And
how much?
Like a brand new game, they charge you like $60 or $70 from release date. Depending on on like a big name title, think like your Assassin's Creeds and all that stuff. Grand Theft Autos. Yeah. And like
I imagine
titles like indies, yes, less.
The company behind this is simply going to turn around and say, all right, give us your credit card, and then at the end of the month you find you get charged like $5,000.
Oh no.
Oh,
no way.
And that's kind of the thing, like Five of Jumps live comment, tuning in. Card declined. You've been kicked out of this session. Because you cannot pay for this hourly rate.
So what happens when someone gets banned?
Right, like I think they just suspend your service to play Grand Theft Auto 6. You can't
and then still charge you for the time.
Yeah, they still charge you for whatever you owed, and bill you for it later, probably.
Yeah, that sounds like one of those examples where technology, or I'm sorry, like laws are not keeping up with technology. Like they kind of just don't know what the hell to do in these kind of situations. Like, what do you do if you're losing hundreds of dollars that you've invested in this game, and you're like, oh crap, well, all of a sudden things are going bonkers right now. Like, what do you do?
Right, and that's the thing. And so, what we've got right here as well, like here's what they're trying to say is here's how they're trying to justify it with this sort of pricing scheme.
Sorry about that, guys. I had to make an adjustment on something real quick.
Right. In terms of pricing for any entertainment property, basically, the algorithm is the value of the expected entertainment usage explained Zelnick, which is to say that the per hour value times the number of expected hours plus the terminal value that's perceived by the customer in ownership if the title is actually owned, not, say, rented or subscribed to.
Hmm.
So realistically, like what they're trying to say is, how much value do you get out of your entertainment for any, for time and for like how much they price it at?
All right. Question.
Yeah.
Is the game free to download and to install, or do you still have to pay for it?
That's the thing. We haven't found out yet. But the current business model that most games play, they're either, pay for the game once, you own it, or like if you're playing an MMO, monthly subscription fee. Grand Theft Auto 6 is, I don't know. They're planning to charge a monthly, an hourly rate. Now,
It'll be interesting to see, to be honest.
yeah. Yeah. Now, what I'm trying to get at here is, the value proposition element of it. Like, how much, how much is a ticket to the movies for like what an hour or two movie?
Jeez, probably around like $12.
Yeah, we'd probably be paying like what, about 20 or so here, right, Noble? 20, 24, 25.
Yeah. I mean,
Give or
I've
take.
sometimes spent 50 if I want to go gold class with
Yeah,
the local cinema, but
the
generally
VMAX.
it's like 20 bucks to see a movie.
Well, granted, I have not been to the movie theaters since before 2020.
Right, I've
So-
only been there this year to watch the
Like, I think the last movie I spent it was maybe like, I don't know, $12.50 or something.
Right. I mean, the last movie I watched was in the big screen was the Mario movie.
Yeah.
I paid 20 somethings for it still.
Still haven't
But-
seen the Mario movie.
But
Yeah,
then, like, when COVID happened, I mean, like, the whole world
theaters-
kind of went completely crazy.
yeah. And so, what I'm trying to get at is like $20 or whatever rate they're charging in the United States gets you what 1 to 2 hours of entertainment at the big screen. Now, what's the here's the thing. Because Grand Theft Auto is such a big open sprawling game that will you can get hours and hours of gameplay out of, and you can't really put a ballpark figure on how long it's going to take for someone to expect to finish it. And with a brand new game costing what $60 or so, you buy it, you get $60 for however long that entertainment lasts. You'd say like what a game is actually a good value proposition, right?
For the company, I mean, if they know that they have very dedicated customers that are willing to actually pay that price over the course of however the hell long they decide to play it, then yes, I guess that would make sense if they have those large enough percentages that will sustain their company. But I don't think that's the case.
Right.
I think that most, people that play this game are kind of upset about this. Like, wouldn't you be?
Yeah. I mean, if you ascribe an hourly value to Grand Theft Auto 6, and then you can expect to get what 100 or
No,
so
that's just,
hours.
like, I wouldn't even play that then. I'm just like, what if I just want to explore for hours and hours on end?
Yeah, it's
I
the
just
same
want to
thing,
look around the city and like do my own thing,
Yeah.
and I have to like pay you like more, like if I'm not accepting the whatever. Nah, you know what, man? I get it. I wouldn't want to play their game. Ha!
No,
See what I did
not
there?
if you have not if you want the experience of just driving around
Yeah,
the
no
city
way, man. Like, whatever.
and getting built for
Hour
hours.
by hour, are you kidding me? Like, no.
I wonder if they're going to put Teslas in there with self-driving.
You know, we got the self-driving cars in Watch Dogs 3 Legion. You can enable auto drive, and you see your character texting on the phone while the car drives itself. Any car.
Mhm.
It's crazy. On Watch Dogs Legion, you can text and drive because it says autopilot engaged, autopilot disengaged. You can like Enable your car to go on autopilot at will.
Nice.
It's
Right.
pretty cool.
And so here's the thing, like, here's the big long thing. Like, if you play like a slow burning long game like an RPG, should they charge you more because you get more expected entertainment because it takes hours and hours to finish it?
That'll be Skyrim, one of my personal favorites.
Like they could have, if they had a thing, they could have made a fortune just because it would take hours, like hundreds of hours to finish Skyrim, for example.
Yeah, but what if it's not about accumulating hours? What if it's just about like some person who likes to escape the real world and
Yeah.
enter this fantasy land and just like that's very fulfilling.
It is agreeable 100%. I play that game mainly. I would mainly play the game to explore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
explore is great.
I'll play story mode first before I get online. I'm sure by the time I'm done with story mode, online will be ready to play.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Hey, I'm always willing to do story mode on a new game anytime.
So, a couple of interesting live comments with Five with Drums. It's got to be free at the start, and they charge money after like 2 hours of playtime, so you get like the feel of it. That's like the whole, you can return the game sort of thing. If they go with that model, I can understand that. Fine. And then, next one. I can't imagine being a YouTuber trying to find Easter eggs and waste money for walking around multiple hours. LMAO.
Yeah, and then they would have to pay for it. Like I did a 6-hour live stream, and it's like, oh crap! Well, that was a
Hey.
waste of time.
So with YouTube, that's going to be the funny part because you may, if someone's popular enough, their audience members may actually pay for the gameplay.
Right.
Oh my goodness, you're so right. Yeah, they would like balance out and then like supersede it, right? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like you basically break even.
Like, sure, I'll lose like this amount of money, but I'll gain like 60 more %. So whatever. Oh my goodness.
I know. But honestly, if it were really up to you, I don't know. Like, would you rather, own the game once or go on a subscription model?
No, own the game once, 100%.
Yeah, just buy the Grand Theft Auto 6 disc. It's yours. Yeah, that's it. Simple as that. Or the digital version. Same thing.
Yeah, and like, what if you don't pay for it? Then what? You're kicked out of the game. Like, you can't even do it anymore. Well, what are the consequences of like if you don't?
If you
do
can't,
that,
you can't pay the hourly rate, right?
Yeah. So like, what happens if you don't do that? Then what? You can't even like use the game that you already paid so much for to begin with. Like, what?
Yeah, but if they do a mixed business model thing, that's a bit more of a mess. But that's kind of what they did with like World of Warcraft and all that seems to be doing that sort of thing. So hey.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Something about that sounds a little kind of illegal.
No, it's not illegal. It's just right. Let's try to make some money, shall we? Whoops.
Yeah, and I get it. Like people know, like they know that people have sunk like thousands of hours in Grand Theft Auto 5 already because of online and all that stuff. And then and spent like millions on shark cards. So.
Oh man, I remember I used to blow money on those.
I like the loot boxes; they're funny.
Oh god.
Yeah, I mean, shark cards being what they are, it's just more muns.
Yeah, I remember like during the Halloween DLC on GTA 5, me and my friends were hunting for jack-o'-lanterns, and they either contain what they call a trick or a treat. If it's a treat, they'll give you money or snacks. However, if it's a trick, it'll either explode or electrocute you.
Sounds fun.
I
into
know, and I got my friend with the one that actually blew him up. I thought it was one where you can get some good stuff,
mm,
but no, the jack o' lantern exploded and killed him.
mm. Anyway, to wrap this bit up, I know Grand Theft Auto 6 has got its own slew of bigger problems and all that down the line. Trailering and all that aside, there's still a bit iffy on the details at the moment, and all these leaks aren't helping. So it's best to be cautiously optimistic at this point.
Yeah.
Now, to move on, if you're looking for a game that you can just purchase once with no subscriptions fees and no hourly fees, I have just the game for you. It's great. Right. Alex Jones, NWO Wars, the official Alex Jones video game.
Oh wow.
Nice segue, man. Absolutely.
Bad.
This is super bonkers. I can't believe this is even real. Yo, check this out.
I know. And look at and to keep on the topic of pricing, it's not going to be $20, 23, 24, $17.76 for America.
Yeah.
And yet, you know what? It's so surprising that the boy Alex, he did it. He finally made it. And the trailer aside, it's got it's just look, retro, done in retro style, voiced by Alex, with all the everything that made Alex just memeable and lovable. It's dude.
It does look retro.
It's a side scroller.
Yeah,
Huh.
it's a retro style game. It's
And you gotta love all those orange and yellow colors.
Not to mention the way the weapons are fired.
But yo, this looks like NES, maybe?
yeah.
No, it's more
That
advanced
is
than
really-
NES. PC.
Hmm.
It is
Maybe
available on
PlayStation.
mobile platforms, and
Oh, wow.
PC, Mac, iOS, and Android. It's available on the mobile platforms, but yeah, the gameplay style, the aesthetic, and certainly harks back to the NES days, old school games.
Wow.
So that's
Alex versus the New World Order.
look at the summation of all this though. Save the world from the evil globalist plot to turn everyone into bug-eating, pod-dwelling libtards.
Bad. True,
What?
but bad.
It's a bit on the nose, I know, but join Alex and his allies. Every day, the thief they sues, lies, defames, and kills law-abiding patriots who threaten their power.
Oh.
Yeah, and who's that little ally right there that's floating above Alex Jones? Look familiar?
This is crazy, man.
I never heard of this before. Is this like something new?
It actually just came out not too long ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy
Out of
shit.
curiosity, has it already been banned on Steam or?
Oh,
Uh,
maybe at this point. Who knows?
Right, but you can always get it on on mobile and what have you. Download, or just go direct and download it now. Forget Steam,
Right.
just go now. Like buy direct from the maker. Next one. Defeat big tech cucks and more, and other anti-American communist bosses throughout this adrenaline-inducing adventure.
1776 to buy it.
hmm Yeah, if you want to do that, if you want to fight with familiar allies, you want a gun-toting adventure that's badass, do it. Players Alex, for the first time in history, experience the world through InfoWars leader Alex Jones's eyes and see the war he fights. And save the babies.
Oh my god. Okay. You know what? I think this is getting a little bit too deep. Let's kind of like change topics here.
Yeah,
Look,
let's.
I know it's so crazy, but
Yeah,
very
that one when I saw the thing save the babies, that kind of got me. I'm like, okay, I don't want to go there.
But look, at the end of the day, like, how does he even get to this point? Like, go from running a news site to having his own game.
Easy, you hire a bunch of developers.
Oh well, because he has so many crazy theories about like different things. Like, imagine if lizard people literally did control an underground city. Like, yo, imagine being Alex Jones with like a flamethrower, and you're going through the caves of the underground, and you're literally fighting the lizards. That'd be fucking badass, right? Like, wouldn't that be cool? That'd be a fun game. And you'd be like, yo, the lizard people, they're turning the frogs gay, and like all the crazy shit. Like, that'd be hilarious. I'd love that.
I know that actually would make a pretty convincing plot line. Everything else would just be secondary.
Yeah, man, that'd be super funny.
I know, but you know what? At the end of the day,
Or if like you like your life bar, if the more like tinfoil hats you got, like the higher your life bar would go up. That'd be kind of cool.
No,
Kind of like like Link, when he gains like new hearts.
yeah, like when you collect these tinfoil hats, your life bar grows.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Dude, but really, at the end of the day, dude, the memes have become real. And like, really, Alex Jones is just, if nothing else, is just nothing more than a meme. But really, just like, of all the games that are coming out, like, wouldn't you say at least like what, something like this so brazen and badass would just be a breath of fresh air compared to what we sometimes get, what passes for games these days.
I was thinking about doing the podcast on my end in my car, but I'm out of gas.
Well, I would say it's pretty edgy, to make a game like this and actually like,
Right.
yeah, present that.
But then all sort of wall marketing that's just so direct with no, and only like appeal to a very 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 niche market that that just knows what's up. Like,
there has been a lot of weird and crazy games out there, man. Like experimental kinds of stuff.
Yeah, that's really what indies are for. That's what they're doing.
Yeah. So
I applaud them for doing something that brave.
forgetting Alex Jones game.
Indie horror games
That is
are
so
one of my
fun.
favorite type of games. The indie horror ones because they're realistic as hell.
Yeah.
I'd play that. Blair Witch was an indie game.
Just that brazen. But yeah, I think for something that's just so on the nose, I think let's say I'd move forward. But if you want to go in the game, I guess you can go find the Alex Jones game. That. So to move the cycle along, Avira, what we lead us through with these. What's happening in the box office at the moment? Marbles.
Okay. Well, the Marvels breaks an unfortunate MCU record as Brie Larson film flips in the box office. I'm sorry, flops.
Remind me again, why did they need to make this movie? Like, what are they trying to do here? What's Marvel trying to do?
Well, see. The Marvels has claimed the unfortunate title for like the worst opening weekend in the Marvel Cinematic Universe (MCU). Yeah,
32 film history.
yeah,
After
32-year film
Hey,
history.
so really, like,
Okay,
yeah, of all the Marvel movies, like it seems to be like it just hasn't seemed to have done it. Like it just nope.
no, okay. It got $47 million in the box office, like opening weekend, and that was literally the worst ever in the Marvel Cinematic Universe line of films that they've made. Even worse than Hulk, which only made 55 million, but it was still even worse than that. So let's continue. It says the film was predicted to debut low box office takings as fans complained of Marvel fatigue. So Marvel fatigue. That the franchise peaked with 2019's Avengers Endgame and has oversaturated the market since. However, because some early reviewers were pleasantly surprised by the film. So take that with a grain of salt. That's probably the critics that they were talking about. It goes on to say, still, it wasn't enough. Hold on. Scroll up a bit. Yeah. Still, it wasn't enough to save the Marvels from flopping. The film opened on Friday, November 10th, where it took in 21.5 million or 17.5 million pounds in the box office. This is an older article. It's
Still,
talking about currency.
let's just have a look at how old this is. Yeah, it's new-ish, but
Newish. Okay, so this is 25 million. I'm sorry, 21 million.
yeah. But the fact of the matter
Anyways,
is, it still stands. Like, how how do you
yeah,
go from having like like
this was
$100 million
the lowest in their history.
right? How do you go from like $100 million openings to this basically?
Well,
What I want to know.
The way I want to put it, as far as I understand it, so it turns out there was a lot of editing. I'm sorry,
Right.
but if you want to make a certain dish, it's not just down to the type of water, but it's the ingredients included. If you take everything out of pasta and all you have is just like the eggs, then it's not then it's not pasta anymore. It's just eggs.
well, this movie was primarily made as what most people would consider like a cash grab, right? You had Brie Larson, who most people genuinely don't like because of her kind of negative attitude, and
Yeah.
she's kind of mean. A lot of people are just like not fans of her demeanor. And then you
I
have like these
loved.
two other random people that no one's really ever heard of before, and then they just made like the Marvels, and it's just like these three women, and people have seen this formula over and over and over again, where it's like, okay, strong women's, and it's like the Marvels are trying to like make the men look like idiots, and it's all about the equality and women power, and eventually people are getting to hero fatigue at this point because it's the same damn formula, and it's not relatable anymore. It's getting to like some weird message. So when you see the Marvels and it's like this, I no, I understand why it flopped. Like it makes sense why it did not do well at the box office. I wouldn't want to see this movie either. I have zero interest in it. So I'm sure most people do.
And yet, it's been kind of a common trope that you kind of described too. Make the male characters like bumbling idiots, make women all these, you know, just because they're women.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird trend. Like, why are they doing this?
Right. Like it's like forget about suspension of disbelief. Let's just like, shatter all this stuff and bam.
Nah, I don't get it.
And I guess that's probably why they've probably the reason why it's kind of flopped. But that wasn't the only movie that's had the same reception as the Marvels. Hunger Games.
Oh yeah.
The next one. The next one that's starring the the media darling from Snow White, Rachel Zegler. That also crashed and burned.
Hmm.
So it's just it's and apparently they're saying the new Hunger Games is Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is performed worse than the Marvels at the at the local box office.
Yeah, that's okay. Why though? Because of the actress herself? Because like just how of a horrible person she is?
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. My uncle needed me.
That's fine. I'm
Yeah,
just wondering
so
like
Yeah.
like
I
why that
mean,
would be less.
Oh,
yeah.
and my uncle tells all you. He says hello.
Hi.
I'll be sure to adjust in that one.
So yeah, look, maybe Rachel Zegler had a thing to do with it. Maybe it's just all these things like poorly written. For a Hunger Games sequel, like which is now really popular, you'd expect more, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
I mean, you've got to be.
I honestly wish the first Captain Marvel movie they left in all the outtakes
Right,
because
and then
some
that
of
way,
them
yeah.
is just Brie Larson being an utter pain in the ass.
Yo, okay. You just gave me a really good idea. Do you know what I think would make Marvel movies like even more popular? Okay, at the end of like the credits, they have like the end credit scenes or whatever. What if they just
The
made
bloopers.
like that was the bloopers?
Oh, the bloopers are hilarious.
But like it was like in the theaters though. Like the movie would end, okay, the credits go, and then like there's that little end scene, and then it's like just the bloopers of like what the hell happened. Like, wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah.
Yo, I'd pay
Okay.
for that.
You ever heard of the movie A Bug's Life? It's a kids movie. The bloopers on that movie were hilarious. Same
Do
with
you
Toy
mean
Story 2. Toy Story 2's bloopers were good, and Monsters Incorporated bloopers were great. Like I laughed at about every ending. Yeah, I was a Disney kid back in the day.
yeah,
Yeah, but
Monsters Inc. ones were my favorite.
maybe
Yeah,
like if they
especially.
could, at this point, like if they continued on the canon from the bloopers, it actually might have made the movies better at this
It
at
might
the
actually be a
stage
good idea.
they're in. Mm. I mean, in the state that Disney and Marvel are in, I'd say the bloopers would have, continuing from where the bloopers left off,
Yeah,
would have made it better.
yeah. If you just got Captain America, look at the camera and just yell line. Yeah, that's totally canon. I mean, Deadpool would work out with that.
Well, yeah, there you go. Turn it into another Deadpool, and bam, heck,
Oh, add Deadpool. Deadpool was the shit. He was hilarious. If that's what you were talking about, Deadpool, yeah, add him into that one.
yeah, exactly.
Yep, he was the one that made me laugh. The Marvel character and Rocket Raccoon both made me laugh. Let's see, I grew up watching Disney movies and Marvel movies, and then I started taking off from horror to horror movies and such.
hmm Yeah, but but at the same time, though, there's another thing that we'd like to address as well. You guys would probably agree on me, but do you guys feel the whole superhero thing is a bit overdone as of late?
I do feel that, yeah, they have made a good run, and for the past few decades, if not more. But yeah, it's about time they wind down and retire. They're coming out, running out of ideas, basically.
Well, I don't know about that.
I mean, I would
It's
love
more
to.
like over the last decade and a half or so, yeah, maybe a little, like, yeah, 15, 12 years. Uh,
Wouldn't the
it's
Marvel
been
Studios
extremely
run
popular.
longer?
No, dude, like here's the thing. I think it is fatigue at this point because they've already told all of the most crazy, outlandish stories they could possibly do. Like, the apocalypse of the world. Like, it's not like a series. I mean, some
As
of it
far
is
as the
like there's
story.
sequels and stuff, but I, no,
Mhm.
I I think they pretty much told every major story they really could from like all the crazy comic books out there. I mean, I'm sure there's like a bunch more, but like they can go on other avenues. It doesn't have to be like the same cinematic universe. Yeah. If there's like another Marvel movie, I mean, Thanos already destroyed half the universe. I mean, what the hell are you gonna do after that? Save the universe? Okay, great. Like,
I
and then
mean,
what? Like, like they have to keep on building it up to make it more interesting, and I don't think that's like logistically possible unless they go to like totally
exactly.
different
Like,
stories with different characters.
what's
Like the
beyond
same
the
characters
universe?
fighting the same things, it just doesn't make any like
Avira,
story sense.
there isn't really much original in Marvels, as it's basically the Marvel franchise, as it's basically all just comic books.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's what these movies are based on.
Mhm. Yeah, but you know what? You're right. Like that's pretty much what they've been doing a lot as of late, and maybe like they've got no ideas as of late, or they're just not willing to take a risk on new ideas.
Well,
I mean, bit of everything, right?
and the fact that when a crazy awesome superhero movie came out, like that used to be like a really big thing, right? Like back in the day, that was like, whoa. Every couple of years there'd be like this, like a new Batman or Superman or something. And now it's like Marvel is just producing, um or Disney rather, like a new superhero movie like every 3 months, or like every 6 months or whatever. Like, it's not
Mm.
as exciting anymore. It's like, okay, same characters, same thing. They're fighting the bad guys again. Like, I don't know. I think the
Yeah,
fatigue
what
kind of does
that
come in there. Like, it kind of loses its
is, yeah,
its like
that
wow
that
factor. I
that
don't know.
whole the whole being a hero fighting enemies. Don't you think that's getting a little too old?
No, I'm saying it's like the same characters, like pretty much doing the same thing. And it's like
Yeah,
every
like
three
they use
months, it's
their
like, okay, there's a new movie. So it's
they,
weird.
they, they use their fight. It's the same fighting abilities throughout the whole movie. Change it up a bit. Come on. I mean, give them some new abilities other than just the same old thing. I mean, spice it up a bit, people. Come on. I'll be down to watch another Marvel movie if you spice things up a bit.
Or maybe just like leave it alone for a bit and
Yeah,
not keep on
or leave it
creating
alone for a
sequels
while.
that like
Leave it
get
alone.
worse
Leave it
and
alone
worse.
for them. Yeah.
Are you trying to put Kathleen Kennedy out of a job?
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
that's really what
Oh
matters at
my
this point. That's unfortunate.
God.
Oh goodness, man.
I'm not trying to put her out of the job or anything, all right? I'm just trying to, you know, I would agree with the Vera more than my own opinion. Just give them some time to, you know, recuperate and then come up with new scripts and start making a new movie. Like, not months, but a few years down the road. Give them some time. Let them do what they got to do, right?
Good luck.
Huh?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Icy Pupper speaks the truth. I'm just
I mean,
kidding.
no. At the end of the day, there's a bit. People want something different too, like another live comment by Drums. Want some controversial, polarizing movies that are funny and creative. Something that the new
Yeah.
movies kind of lack. Like, right,
Yeah.
like you can look at the absolute state of fun, how they insert comment, like comic relief in modern movies, which is just what, like, funny one-liners
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
What was that guy's name that sent that message? Fifey or Five?
Five.
Five. Hey, what's up, Five?
Yeah, so really mm, it's just quite, it's actually, you could say whatever you want about it, like, at the moment, but if this is where the current, the big name movies thing is headed, is it any surprise why, why games are, taking over the movie industry? Like, well done video game movies are taking over now. They're the in thing.
Well, they did, however, like make a Far Cry 5 mini movie. It was called Inside Eden's Gate. I recommend you guys check it out. It's on YouTube.
Right, but it's not, not like a full blown theatrical release. Like, we're talking, Mario,
That
the
would
Super
be
Mario
great if they made
Brothers,
a full movie of it.
Dungeons and Dragons, and Five Nights at Freddy's, to cite a few modern examples.
Yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's is actually a very good movie. I've seen it firsthand. Wonderful movie.
Likewise, just not
Yeah, it's full of surprises though. There was a plot twist I didn't expect. Like I talked about it with Joel earlier before the show, and there's an insane plot twist to it. I'm not going to say what it is because those that are in this call who have not watched it, I don't wish to spoil it. And we went quiet.
That's okay. I mean, there hasn't been an awful lot, but Noble, there was something
Yes.
you were kind of interested in, and you wanted to talk about. Are you still interested
Yeah.
in talking about it,
The whole
Noble?
anime thing?
Yeah.
Yes. Do we have time?
Yes, we do. We've got 15 minutes, and it's an interesting thing. Like, we'll go look through it, but and what do you think this is? Like, is it? Do you reckon, just as before we start this, that anime's in trouble, or?
I would hope not, but unfortunately.
I mean, I get it. Japan does a lot of weird things, but let's just quickly have a look through this. 20% face bankruptcy. Manga industry faces an unprecedented crisis with a new Japanese law, and its alterations to consumption tax laws put immense pressure on workers that could lead to a mass ejection of creative talents while locking out more. So it's an interesting thing. Like, what they're saying here is that they're making a couple, taxes that can really squeeze out the way that, the whole manga industry, and like, and leave people out of work, and that would put a bit of a damper on our, on our favorite mangas and stuff. What is that kind of what you think it is, Noble?
From what I understand, the actual people who are doing the work themselves are going to be taxed,
Right.
which unfortunately means they'll be earning less money, and that could basically kill an industry where the people doing the actual work are already earning basically bottom of the barrel, right off the edge. So, yay.
Yeah, like the people who are drawing the pages, and assistants, voice actors, and other freelance workers, and that caused quite a bit of a squeeze. So with any luck, all like things like Pokemon and all that don't get too affected. It's more.
Pokemon's always been a good to me when I was a kid as well. I watched a lot of kids shows, kid movies as a little one. I still do today.
No, this is more basically the people who are slaving over making the actual shows themselves.
Yeah, but knowing Japan and all that, it's more they just work, all these artists and that they just work their guts, and work themselves out to the bone, and yeah, like and I guess you can see why they kind of feel a bit more like the industry is a bit tightly squeezed and all that, what have you, right? So like imagine this, like what if, well, the taxing goes through, like all the workers go out and squeeze, like what do you think would happen? Would that mean like we'd get a delay on episodes and new pages on
Oh
new
no,
chapters?
shows are basically going to get cancelled altogether. I mean,
Yeah.
the voice actor for Sailor Moon
Yeah.
has also come out and said, "Look, this will affect me as well."
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, that's
oops.
exactly what I was about to say. Like people would go out of business at that point. Like if there's some tiny studio that's making some good content, they'd be like, you know what, yo, I can't afford this. So
Yeah. Like
that's a bummer.
no.
The law's change is baffling. As surveys indicate most respondents
And
rejected the
so
proposal.
I guess what you really were trying to say is, you know what, like if all the if they're all speaking about it, it's we can't afford to lose our friggin' manga, dude. It's like, because it's basically the one thing that people are turning to. Mangas are more popular than ever, and they're actually outselling comics by a lot.
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
know that?
Wow.
Yeah. And not just that, but anime is also like on the up and up. They're getting into Netflix, and they're offering a perfectly good substitute to Western cartoons now. So just think about this, really. If the anime starts to collapse at the production stage of the production chain in Japan, then that'd be less anime for us going around, because we'd have less localizers, less of those stuff as well, right, Noble?
Oh yeah.
Like further down the production chain, and I guess with any luck, it's just not that's just not what any of us want. So I think really, like, what do you think? What do you think we should really, would be a viable solution? Like, should they, like, should manga like really be subsidized a bit more? Should they change the tax law?
Well, they shouldn't be changing the tax law to the way it is. And to be quite honest with you, artists and the people doing the actual work themselves need to get paid more.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like, how much, you charge an artist how much? Okay, create a couple of pages, and then and so forth and so forth, and whatever have you. And at the race they're going, it's not a good look for how they run it. But no, really, at the end of it, it's. I know, I get it. Japan has its own problems too, here and there, but just imagine what it would be like if 20% of existing studios there just closed down. Like, we get like all the minor anime, a lot of the stuff, the smaller studios had shortages, and even the bigger studios had shortages. Like, just dwell on it for a moment. Is there any other thing you wanted to add on to that, Noble?
No, I've already said my piece.
I know, it's just such a shame, because now it's like, I get it, like, entertainment's just is just one of those things, a precarious thing. Otherwise, you know what, we'd end up having to do our own little thing, like do what friggin', like, God forbid we end up having to do what Alex Jones ends up doing. just just like for a little bit.
Oh my goodness.
No, seriously. But hey, there's a plus side to it. You know, he just did that and he did his own thing. But hey, but you know what though? In s- in spite of all this stuff and a bit of how slow things turned out, I think it's high time we wrap this up for the week. Much as we've got quite a bit. Who'd like to write up say the closing statement for what's happened this week?
Um,
Uh, Icy?
I don't have any closing statements this time, sadly, but the only closing statement I had was thank you for having me on, and I had a good time.
all right, man.
No worries.
Yeah, I'm going to stay until the backstage is over.
No worries. Noble.
Well, it's disappointing sometimes to see things how they roll out. I mean, Marvels, I was hoping they would have at least had an understandable storyline, but that seems to have gone out the window. And it's really with this whole anime thing, it's just depressing to see how that's going.
Right. Any comments about how games should do pricing? Like paying
Oh, I forgot about that one. Sorry.
paying by
Um,
the hour or paying
I
by
want to see this come out and released as is. To be honest, I really want to see the train wreck.
I know,
I'm
like
gonna go through so much popcorn.
like imagine that you go up to the thing, like you go up to your local game store or whatever, like and then get Grand Theft Auto 5 digitally, and then bam, before you play, you're asked to insert your credit card details or what have you before you're
Well,
even allowed to spend it.
out of all the Grand Theft Auto games, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas from 2004, that game right there was me growing up. Like it was a good story. Basically, it's based off of revenge. For your family. You come home, you find out your mother dies, and then it gets a lot crazier throughout the game.
Right, right.
You already know who the bad guys were.
It's been out for
And
quite a
I
while.
was shocked. I was told before I played that one certain mission that Big Smoke was the bad guy. But I did not know Ryder was as well. Ryder was also one of the bad guys too.
Right. Avira?
Well, you have like pay to play and then pay to win, and companies that kind of exploit that, I don't know, dopamine rush are kind of like disingenuous to me. Like you should be playing a game like to have fun, like
Yeah.
it's a little weird to me. So I'm not really
I
a big
would
fan of
only
that.
buy the full disc. I'll buy the disc.
Yeah, but
Well, exactly, yeah. That comes down to the whole like digital
buy it
copies
once,
or whatever.
buy the disc or digital download, pay once, and
Yeah, yeah,
done.
whatever.
Once it's a one and done affair, or if you have to do a subscription plan, here's your thing. You play the game as much as you can in a month. That's it, right? Pay like $15, and if you get everything you want in Grand Theft Auto 6 in for like $15 for a month, then you got a great deal. If you're ready
Yeah,
for
Yeah,
it.
I think it kind of just
I would
like
rather do that.
I think it just like ruins the fun of it. I don't know. Like if I had enough money, I could just go buy upgrades. Like oh, okay, I don't know. I don't really like that too much.
Yeah. But what about the rest of the other stuff though? I think Mr. Jones and
Dude, I think that's going to be absolutely hilarious. It's going to trigger so many people, and I just cannot wait for the memes.
I mean, why wait for the meeting when you can live it out now? Just Pro 1776 and save the frogs from being turned gay. But yeah, I suppose that's all we've got for you for this week. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed that as much as we did. And as always, our episodes are available on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Tune in, Play.fm, Radio, BitChute, and more further down the line. right. This is our signing off week. Farewell. Until next time.
Till next
Later.
time, everybody.